at the Hiroshima Peace Memorial Museum. We're gonna be here for 2 hours.
We need to sit and reflect because of what we have done.
Yeah. The Hiroshima Peace Memorial Museum was one of the most memorable and eye-opening museums I've ever been to. We learned lots of information about the true impact of the bombing through the multiple types of debris displayed around the museum. Not only were we faced with facts, but also the feelings. Seeing the hundreds of stories and artworks from the victims and families whose lives were irreversibly impacted by the bombing was the most heartbreaking part of the visit. Overall, I felt that the museum displayed so much about the Hiroshima bombing that wasn't covered in the classes that I've taken before. The next day, we returned to the Hiroshima Peace Memorial Museum to first listen to a storyteller talk about her family's first-hand experiences of the Hiroshima bombing. We then went outside and were paired in groups with a few local high school students who gave us a tour of the Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park. Each memorial had different meanings tied to them, and the high schoolers helped explain to us what the architecture of each monument was meant to convey. For example, the Children's Peace Memorial is inspired by Sadako Sasaki, who suffered from leukemia and folded 1,000 paper cranes for a wish to recover. As you can see, this monument houses millions of paper crane artworks donated by visitors to pay respect to Sadako and the other children who fell victim to the bombing. Another example is the Hiroshima Peace Bell, where visitors must strike the bell to promise an end to nuclear weapons in war. We just arrived at Miyajima. And we're about to go on a ferry to this island. We'll have some cool shrines. I'm excited. On the ferry ride to the island, we were able to get a good glimpse of the entire island landscape, including the famous Otori Gate. When we arrived at the island, we were immediately greeted by lots of friendly deer. We then got a closer look at the gate after visiting some of the shrines on the island, and then we were given a couple free hours to explore the remaining pagodas, shrines, and villages that scattered the island. Nearing the end of the day, we got an amazing sunset view of the island before we headed back to the HSR. Trying Mr. Donut for the first time. 7 out of 10. After lunch, we made our way to Kumamoto, Japan to see the iconic Kumamoto Castle, which was completed in the early 17th century or the Edo period and served as a political and military stronghold at the time. Not only were we able to see the intricate historical architecture of the castle itself, but we also saw real-time renovation efforts after an earthquake that occurred in 2016 had severely damaged the castle's brick walls. We then visited the exhibits inside the castle, where we learned more about the history of the castle and more details about the architecture. The castle is well famous for its impenetrable defense system and design, having lots of steep, sloped walls and countless turrets that prevented any successful invasion.
You climb someone gonna shoot me anyway, like.
Go for one.
I can't. Which one was the gate? I don't know. Should I smash it? Oh.
And lastly, on the top floor of the castle, there was a nice view of the Kumamoto prefecture. Just outside of the castle was a small village filled with little shops, and we treated ourselves with some shaved ice. After that, we headed to this restaurant in Fukuoka, where it was basically a buffet where you can pick different skewers, such as chicken, mushrooms, and other vegetables, and you get to batter and deep fry them yourself. This is a matcha churro. Batter it up. And add some crumbs in it. And you just put it in. Overall, it was a great dining experience to end the day with, and it was something I'd never tried before in my life. Let's go! Where are we headed?